from the island, Victoria's Phillip Island. And if you've just joined us, that is one of Australia's latest sporting heroes. 21-year-old Casey Stoner. He turns 22 on Tuesday. He got married earlier this year, and it has been the season of his life. World champion. Quite extraordinary. Another great young Australian rider, the Queenslander Chris Vermeulen, riding for Rizla Suzuki, and there is a third Aussie in the Premier Class, Ant West. I'm sure we will see him in on this Riders Parade. And Daryl, from a rider's perspective, what's this parade like? Do you enjoy it, to get out there and kind of connect with the fans and receive the applause and the adulation?
I think for the Australian riders, Lee, it's pretty special to see that many passionate people here on the weekend to support you, but also I think the reflection is how well you did in the warm-up. If you had a bad warm-up, then you don't really want to be out there at all, but it is a nice time. It's a great time, and I think one of the best feelings you can ever have in your motorcycle career is either to win at home or stand on the podium at home. It really does give you goosebumps. We should, Daz, also maybe reflect back on the wonderful chat that you had with Valentino Rossi yesterday, teammate to Colin Edwards. You scored a few exclusives, I'd have to say, out of that chat. He's said to you that he will do 2 World Rally Championship events before the season's out. Those deals are 95% done. There he is. One of them in a Ford and the final round in a Subaru. And then you pitch the question at him, would you consider a move to Ducati, an Italian team, if things perhaps didn't improve with Yamaha? He certainly put pressure on Yamaha in recent days to lift the game, hasn't he? Oh, well and truly, and for him to turn around and say yes, that was quite amazing. Pedrosa was very fast in qualifying, but warm-up I felt was a little disappointing for Danny. I don't know if they tried a different tyre. And have a look at this. This is what they do after the warm-up. They practice a start, and what Danny's done here, we are led to believe, is not hit the electronic button, which is the launch control. He's got full throttle, 100%, dumped the clutch, and it's just climbed up onto its back wheel. And that's what happens when the electronics are not hooked in for the start and you're not ready for it. This guy has a wonderful affinity with Phillip Island, Valentino, doesn't he? He's been on the top step of the podium some 7 times here. It's his 11th front row start of the year. And there is a renewed push for him to try and beat Casey at Casey's home event. The world title may have gone. He could become runner-up for the 2nd time in as many years. He's a multiple world champion, Valentino. Is he going to be able to catch and stay in touch with this guy this afternoon? Well, I think we spoke about it during the warm-up. The critical factor will be the start. The Ducati launches very well off the start line. It always gets away good. But it'll be those opening 3 or 4 laps, because at Phillip Island here, it normally turns into a pretty good race if they battle with each other. But if Casey breaks them in those opening laps, then I feel like he'll ride away into the distance if his tyre can go those last 5 or 6 laps. But Valentino definitely won't give up at all. Had a great chat with the Kiwi, Pete Benson, who is in Nicky Hayden's corner, his race engineer at Repsol Honda. He said behind the scenes this guy works incredibly hard, very hard in terms of his application to getting the setup of the motorcycle right, and they feel like with this year's bike, which was quite a breakaway, Suzuki and a couple of other brands in this championship stuck with a similar sort of chassis to what they had in the 990s and just accommodated the new 800cc engine. But it was a radical change for Honda, a brand new bike from the ground up, and it's taken a lot longer, for them to get on top of it. A lot longer for what Honda would consider appropriate. They seem to be making inroads now. Incredible crowds here, but hopefully the bike next year will be only just an evolution, Daz, not a radical change once again. Well, otherwise you just start from scratch again, and that's a big no-no. And Nicky's stressed that point to the Japanese. That's where they need to go. But the wind, as you can see in the background, those flags flying, and Lee spoke about it when he was in pit lane earlier, that will make riding difficult, especially the run along Bass Strait, trying to turn into the fast left-hander. It really wants to push your ride there, but as long as the rain stays away, I think we're looking for some great racing. Danny Pedrosa on pole lead for the 2nd time in as many rounds.
And he's feeling confident. He feels the Honda has improved and is